Will Ripple present the Clayton speech before the judge? Will the speech given by Jay Clayton be given the same significance as the one given by Hinman? Is the Security and Exchange Commission attempting to destabilize Ripple? Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. But first, we are giving away 50 XRP coins at the end of the month to one random subscriber to start on their XRP journey. All you need to do is to like the video, subscribe and comment your thoughts on XRP in the comment section. Welcome back XRP Army. Let's grow the XRP Lab community by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel to stay updated at all times. This may be the most compelling video proof yet, proving that the Securities and Exchange Commission is a gang of liars who have been lying to the courts, the public, and everyone else. Wait till you hear what Jay Clayton, the Lizard King, has to say about this because it is really remarkable. Before we get on to the news that Jay Clayton broke, there is other news that Judge Sarah has granted in part the Security and Exchange Commission request for an extension of time in order to revisit the DPP finding, which was not good news for the Security and Exchange Commission. It is difficult to frame this in a positive light, says crypto attorney John Deaton. Perhaps attorney Jeremy will be able to discover a silver lining? All I can believe is that the judge anticipates that the Security and Exchange Commission will appeal her judgment not just to Judge Torres but also to the Second Circuit, and she wants to give a conclusion that is bulletproof. So, let's take a look at Jay Clayton's address on capital formation at the Nashville 3686 Entrepreneurship Festival, which is available on the Securities and Exchange Commission website. So, if you scroll down the website, you will find that we have the speech translated, which goes, Bill Hinman recently outlined the approach staff takes to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to have a look at Bill's speech. However, take a look at what Wheezy discovered. It is the same speech, but Jay Clayton says something different. As Wheezy tweeted, Jay Clayton speaking on September 19, 2018, Bill Hinman recently detailed the process we follow to assess whether a digital asset is a security. What the hell is that? I was under the impression that that was his own view. Boom. Put the mic down. Let's watch and see what Jay Clayton actually said. Determining what falls within the ambit of a securities offer or sale is a facts and circumstances analysis, utilizing a principles-based framework that has served American companies and American investors well through periods of significant innovation and change for over 80 years. Bill Hinman recently outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website. If you are considering jumping into this space, I also encourage you to reach out to the Division of Corporation Finance. Do you see the difference between the translated speech and the actual speech? There is a distinct difference between the speech that is accessible on the website and the real speech that is available on YouTube, as seen here. Either as, he is acknowledging that this is the official view of the Security and Exchange Commission, and that Bill Hinman was only the messenger. Moreover, when Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton says, we, they mean of course the SEC. Moreover, a Twitter handle who goes by Sento Sumosaba fact-checked it, that it was changed. As she tweeted, the SEC website changed the remarks translation of the Clayton speech. Regarding the term, we, which is often used in the XRP community, a Fox Business journalist named Eleanor Tourette tweeted and addressed some important issues that need to be answered by the SEC. She said on Twitter that, it seems that both Hinman and Clayton have now gone on record as using the W word. This is something that cannot be disregarded. And it is not just the we part. It is the fact that Clayton is encouraging people to go to the website and read the speech. Why do that if it is just one-man opinion? And right after Hinman's speech, there were numerous articles written with titles like the SEC announces cryptocurrency Ether is not a security. Why did not the SEC bother to correct them? Or when journalists asked the question in interviews on live TV? No correction. Confused. Who do you think this we people are? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Aside from that, they chose the only clear one out of thousands of cryptocurrencies, not 2 or 4 or even a few, to provide direction to the market out of a total of 6,000, 7,000, or who knows how many thousands of cryptocurrencies are available. They clear Ethereum and Ethereum only while being compensated millions of dollars. They have been having a good time over at the Security and Exchange Commission, on the taxpayer's dime in essence, while being compensated millions of dollars by Ethereum Alliance members while clearing Ethereum and Ethereum only, and they have been paid millions of dollars. We are meant to think that it is simply a coincidence that they are so taken with Ethereum that it is the only digital asset they are ready to discuss and that they have not said anything about any other projects yet. They are not even going to put out any type of guidelines for other cryptocurrency startups to follow. They just sue you and pin you to the wall, and you are aware that there is nothing you can do to stop them. This is atrocious criminal behavior of the highest kind. Deaton reacted to Wheezy with the following statement: "Great work as usual XRP community," he said. "All that is required of Ripple and XRP holders is that they fulfill the threshold established by Nancy, who was present at the Ether Free Pass talks with the Security and Exchange Commission. If a project can demonstrate that it is somewhat more decentralized than Ether, it is not deemed a security." However, when questioned about the next actions for Ripple after the viewing of this video and regarding the legality of the video in court, Deaton responded unfavorably, stating that he does not believe the video will be beneficial to Ripple. "I understand that people emotions are running high and that they are frustrated of the case dragging on," he said. However, many people are conflating the issue of fair notice with the DPP problem. The information in this video is excellent in terms of fair notice, but it has nothing to do with the request for reconsideration that is now before the court. This video obviously helps Ripple in terms of fair notice, but it really aids the Security and Exchange Commission in terms of the privilege question. Because the speech was a personal view, according to the Security and Exchange Commission, Security and Exchange Commission officials, including Clayton, contributed information and advice, and consequently, the speech should be protected. Had the judge determined that the speech was an official Security and Exchange Commission statement, she would have ordered that the emails containing the draft of the speech are protected by the DPP and that Ripple would not be permitted to utilize the emails. Do you think Deaton is right? Share your views in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Kindly note that the prices of cryptocurrencies frequently change, so by the time you watch this video, it might have changed to a whole new value. The information provided in this video does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice, and you should not treat any of the content as such. The content in this video is for educational purposes only and hence should not be considered financial advice. Do conduct your due diligence and consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions.